All right, so good morning. We are in the BrainBox. If you've never been to the BrainBox, today we are doing some training on Google Ads. Hopefully you've got some questions. If you don't, that's fine. You can just, sit in and take some notes. And as always, you can access your membership benefits and schedule the one-on-one so we can go over your specific questions. And then you can access the replays at that time. But if you're not a member, no problem. You can just sit in here and just catch it live. If you're not able to sit in on these live events, then maybe we can do it later. But this is an opportunity for you to take advantage of some of the advancements in technology, especially in the area of advertising. But today we're going to start off with a quick example of how can you tell when someone can't afford you? Because there is a way to tell. You know, when people access you, they call, they reach out, and then they can't afford you. How can you instantly, immediately tell that they can't afford what you're offering? There's a way. They give it away. The customer, they'll tell on themselves. And you can instantly, immediately tell that this person cannot afford you.
Yeah,
So what
and
should you
probably
do?
the first question probably have is how much does it cost?
Boom, boom. That's pretty good. How'd you know that?
Uh, don't know, but it seems to be the right answer.
It's obvious. It's it's obvious, as my cousin would say. It's obvious. Yeah. That person, how do they know what you're selling? If they're already looking for the price, they're already looking for how much not to spend. Has it ever happened to you? Or do you maybe you yourself guilty of that? How much is it gonna cost? You're already thinking about it in your head. How much money I'm going to spend? You probably can't afford it already. Not a bad thing. Nothing to be discouraged about. But this is the difference when we, not as consumers, not as buyers, but we are producers. We're the business owners when you're looking at it from a different perspective. You're looking at it from this side of the fence. These people can end up wasting your time. You can end up spending minutes and hours on the phone with these people and engaging with these people, emailing back and forth, and they never intend to spend money. Maybe they don't, maybe they do intend to spend money, but they just end up, they don't. They don't even know what you have to offer. So you've probably seen me do this joke with people when they say how much does it cost. I immediately tell them it's $1 million. If you've never seen me do that, I do it all the time. They say how much does it cost? All right, that's a trigger. They can't afford you already. I tell them it's $1 million, and I do it all the time. I'm gonna show you 3 videos where we talk about 3 different scenarios in which that comes up. This question comes up, and then we'll tell you the wrong way to do it and the right way to do it. So again, this is the Brain Box. We do it every Thursday, 8:30 a.m. West Coast time. If you have membership access, then you can get the replay. You don't have to be here live, which is kind of convenient, but it's nice when you come live because we can speak to you, we can interact and engage, and get your questions answered. It's really nice. And the replay, you just leave comments and then we try to get back to you, email, things like that. It's not as convenient, but you do have a benefit of having one-on-one access and one-on-one coaching. Pretty nice, especially if you have a very specific individual scenario case going on that you don't want to share with the group. Otherwise, if you do want to come live, then you're always welcome to come live, but it's very limited and the time is very short. So it's nice to look into getting some membership access and take advantage of getting some of this advanced knowledge and interacting with the community. All right, go to drtech.com. Otherwise, we'll see you every Thursday at 8:30 a.m. All right, so the first call we're going to listen to is this. We'll listen to the call in its entirety and then we'll break it down afterwards. Okay. So I'm gonna share a video and we'll listen to it without breaks. I want you guys to hear. I want you to listen to it full. All right, no interruptions, and then we'll talk about it afterwards. So we got one short call, one and then this one maybe about 30 seconds long. That's how long it takes. And then the other two are about 2, 3, 4 minutes, something like that. All right, hang on. Let me pause this real quick. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second. All right. So what you're looking at is my call script. I still, when people call me, I'll still pull up the call script if I'm in front of a computer. Yeah, pull it up right there. Why not? Why not give yourself the best opportunity to book this appointment? Nobody gets away. Every client who calls is a customer. 100% conversion rate. Nothing less, not 99%. We don't go for that here. It's powerful when someone contacts you, when they reach out to you. They called you. You didn't call them. You didn't bother them. You didn't interrupt them. They called you. This person obviously needs something. So why not break out every tool you have and make that conversion 100%? That's what we go for. Precision. Like a surgeon. We want to make sure we get every client. So even though I consider myself pretty well, versed in the call script and being able to convert clients, I would say so. But at the same time, I still break it out from time to time. All right. So this is actually the second time this person called. Believe it or not, something happened, and then I guess the call disconnect, but he called him right back. So I was like, let me get this one because this might be good. So let's listen. The notary, this is Alex. What document can we help you with?
Alex,
Yes.
I'm calling again because I asked for the fee and it's not in the text. So if you don't have the information, that's fine. I'll try somewhere else.
Did you try clicking on the link?
What's the number? Just tell me.
Well, I can't give you the number because they're all computer generated.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. I'll go somewhere else. Thanks a lot.
Well, do you need the document signed today? So let's break it down. Quick call. The first call, he's called and he was asking about the price. And I told him it's $1 million. He laughed, but I never told him the price. And eventually I got him to agree to the text message where you get all the information. Now, when you click on the link in the text message, it has all the details there. Then he called back. What do you think happened in that phone call? What did it sound like to you?
He
was frustrated.
He didn't like the price, frustrated. He definitely was frustrated. So
Yes.
he did successfully reach the text message, though. You can tell that, right? He got that, but he did not click on it. What else?
He wanted you to engage more in the call for as going through the pricing,
Who was that person?
the customer.
Who was he? He was definitely a customer, that's for sure. What else about him? What else
He
could
was
you say?
elderly. He was elderly. He sounded like older. He sounded older.
And
Not computer literate.
possible, yeah, that's actually a good observation. That's a good observation. Probably wasn't. Yeah, he old school, maybe
Mm-hmm.
used to doing things maybe over the phone in person, not maybe
Correct.
not much. Good observation. Is that your customer base, Cerise?
No.
Okay. Would you deal with younger people who are tech savvy?
Yes. And then I have some older folks that are tech savvy.
Yeah. So what does that tell you about this person then? That they probably didn't have the intention on booking an appointment.
No. Correct. They just was calling to fish for fees.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't like those people, do we?
No.
Not when the information is right there. I certainly don't like those people. Now, here's the thing. I'm not offended nor should you really be offended by somebody who's just looking for a price. Most people, believe it or not, most people have never dealt with a notary before. I know. Difficult and unbelievable, but it's true. Most people, you probably the first time they've ever dealt with a notary. Most of the time. So they have no idea what it costs. They really, really, truly don't. So I'm sympathetic to that. I know that they don't know. They just want to look for something cheap. But that's the thing is we are not cheap. And by cheap, I don't mean by the number. I don't mean by the price. I don't mean by some value. Because cheap is relative, isn't it? You might think $100 is cheap. You might not think that $100,000 is expensive. It's all relative. But what? So what am I trying to accomplish here by not answering his? Because you notice I didn't answer his question. That's why he was frustrated. That's why you can sense that urgency in his voice. I just want to know the price. Why can't you tell me the price? I got the text message, but it didn't have the price in it. Well, yeah, it did.
He just failed to review. He just wanted someone to just give him all the details, but never check and do research.
We give you a signature and a stamp. We don't give you something cheap. If you want something cheap, then you can find it for free. There's some notary out there that'll do it for free. I mean, they're out there. That's not us. I need to confirm whether or not we can actually execute this. That's our position. That's our vision there. There's a slight difference there. Very subtle. Did you catch that? That's the approach and that's the intention that we have. And you should have, I'm saying you don't, should is not the right word. I never want to use that word should. You don't have to, you should not have to do anything. Do whatever you want. But when people are calling for something that they've never done before, they have no experience, no idea how it goes, then they will have a tendency to look for it for the cheapest possible, for the lowest cost possible. Because they don't really know. But our intention is to make sure that we can actually get it done. And that's the message that we want to convey. So it's people like him, they call all the time. They probably call you all the time. Don't, be fair with these people. Be patient. It's not personal. You can lose these clients. You can easily get them back. Easily. Because when people call, you pay for it, like as we're going to see in the Google ads. So hopefully you guys are ready to pull up your Google ad accounts if you can. But every time somebody calls you, it's money. You spend that money. So when he called me, I paid for that. I'm not in the business of just giving away money. So I do want to help this person, but I can't. If I told him a number, there's no number that was low enough. Do you believe that? If I told him $20, you think he'd been satisfied?
No.
What if I told him it was $15 or $10 or you know what I'm saying? It's really not the number, it's whether or not you can execute it. That's the issue. He needs to answer the questions that we'll see in the next couple of calls that will determine if we can actually do this, because we are not for everybody. And when I say that, I'm not saying that because if you can't afford us, we don't come to you. I'm saying there's certain things that you have to meet, certain stipulations that you have to meet for us. And that's why it's so successful, and it functions efficiently, because not everybody can walk into the Louis Vuitton store. Not everybody can walk to Mercedes-Benz. Not everybody can walk into Honda or Volvo. It's just different. It depends on what you're looking for. And this is the way, this is the selling way. This is how, especially in today's modern consumer informed environment where people are smart. You are smart yourself when you go out and shop. You want to ask questions, and you also want to be informed about what you're buying, because you're not in the business of just throwing away your money. So we want to, so when the customer or the caller, when they feel informed, as you will see in the next two calls, They have no problem spending the money because it's not about the price. It never was. But you have to approach it the right way. So let's have a look. Any other last thoughts about this guy? It was a quick call. It was the second time he called. He was very frustrated. He clearly had something to do. But Tiger, you had said something interesting too. You had said that he's probably a notary. Could you speak
that's
on that,
right.
Tiger? For a few seconds? Yeah. You
Yeah, no,
available?
well, we have to understand like some of the inquiries that you're getting, and when if you've been a notary for a while, you kind of know that this person's really inquisitive or asking certain questions that most customers don't ask. So sometimes notaries tend to beat themselves up and be like, "Dang, I didn't get that sale or whatever." Shouldn't do that because there are notaries that are calling other notaries just to price gauge. And if they feel like your price is like astronomical, if they're smart, they're going to offer their services to you, like how Tech does, right? He'll be like, "Hey, look, do you guys need any other extra notaries on board? Like, I'll be more than happy to help you guys out," because they recognize that you guys have been able to demand a premium price for your services. And it's very attractive to anybody that looks at it. I'm talking about attorneys, everybody. So don't take it so serious. Don't take it hard. Don't take the rejection hard because it just might be a notary shopping around trying to gauge how much money they should be charging for their services.
How often does that happen?
Every day.
All the time. All the time.
Every day. Yeah. There's new notaries coming in the industry every day. And not everybody is willing to invest and spend money on, you know, getting a BRAINBOX course or paying for, a high level course. So they figured, well, I'll just be a mystery shopper and I'll shop around my competitors, some foo-foo stuff that they learned on YouTube, and they try to roll that out. Doesn't get them very far. Because
Yeah.
your script, the way you deliver your services, that's what they really need to concentrate on, not how much you're asking for it. How much value are you able to communicate to the customer where they actually agree to spend $200, $400, but they don't see that because they're just calling to find out what is this person charging for a power of attorney.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent insight. All right. Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, and it happens. People tell you, they'll tell you, and you can. So, how do you tell if somebody can't afford you? This is number one. They ask you, "How much do you charge?" Or they don't have any other questions or have any other insight to give. It's just all about the price, all about the price, all about the number. Okay. Any other last thoughts before we move on to the next one? Any other questions? Any other insights, comments?
I would also say like when you charge very, very low pricing like that, like for that guy was clearly agitated for whatever reason. Who knows? His dog bit him in the morning or pissed in his shoes or something. But
Yeah.
but he if you would have said like let's just say $15, $20 or $10, that guy would have very, very low respect for you and your profession. He would look at you like you're just a stepdog and come take care of this and get on out. Like no respect would be there because the monetary value that he paid to get that service for a person to drive out to his house, notarize and stuff like that, he would feel like you already overcharged him at $10. And do you want a person like that calling you for the second time, third time? Do you want a person like that as your repeat customer? That's the question you have to ask yourself. All right.
That's a great question. Yeah, and my answer is clear. All right, next call here. Oop, let's go back. There you are. Pause this here. All right, I'm going to play the first call again, and then we're going to listen to the second call in its entirety just to see the contrast. I want you guys to see the contrast in these two calls. All right, let's do it. The notary, this is Alex. What document can we help you with?
Alex,
Yes.
I'm calling again because I asked for the fee, and it's not in the text. So if you don't have the information, that's fine. I'll try somewhere else.
Did you try clicking on the link?
What's the number? Just tell me.
Well, I can't give you the number because they're all computer generated.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. I'll go somewhere else. Thanks a lot.
Well, do you need the document signed today? And notice how I try to keep him on the phone too, right? It's never the no is just the beginning of the negotiation part, right? He just, oh, I can't do it. I still try to keep him on the phone. I wait until you hang up on me. I don't take it personal. And notice the tone in my voice, right? Slow them down. Slow them down, right? And sometimes people respond to that, sometimes they don't. But again, like Tiger said, do you want that person as a customer? Think about that. All right, let's listen to the second one. It's a great day. Just to prepare you, he's speaking a little bit low, so if you need me to stop it and so you can hear it, just let me know. But this guy's talking just a little bit low. Open notary. This is Alex. What document can we help you with?
Thank you, sir. This is Ilham from San Leandro.
I'm sorry. Can you please repeat that?
This is Ilham from San Leandro.
Yeah. Do you need a document notarized?
I applied for my son and daughter. We are going to Pakistan, but they are under 16 years of age, so the embassy wants us to they send us a document known as consent form.
Oh, okay. Did you guys catch that?
He said something about going to Pakistan is all I actually got.
Yeah. So I was listening to this on the phone and I didn't catch that, but I did hear that. So you heard what I heard. He said his son and daughter was traveling to Pakistan, and the embassy says they need a document notarized. That's what he said. So I didn't catch. So regardless if I heard exactly what he said, as you'll see, I'll just go right into the call script. No matter what he says, I just go right into the call script because again, we are trying to disqualify this person initially. We try to disqualify them first, qualify them, then we transition to our closing. The first thing I need to do is disqualify them. I need to find out if he in fact does have this, if he has something that we can actually help him with. That's number one. If you don't, then there's no point to continue this conversation. But all I heard was embassy, 16, 17, daughter, son, Pakistan. That's all I heard. His accent is very thick, and but if you didn't catch anything, that's what I heard, and that's apparently what you heard as well. All right, so let's listen. It does get clearer, by the way. Yes.
We need Notary Public to decide and stamp on Notary Public.
Okay. All right, no problem. It sounds like we can help you. Do you already have the form prepared? One thing you'll notice too, and I don't know if we're going to break this down afterwards, but one thing you'll notice, and this is something that you can try as well. I ask one question at a time. You want to ask just one question, especially if there's a situation where you can't really understand what the person's saying. They have an accent. There's a lot of noise in the background. It's just not clear. One question at a time. And then as Tiger likes to say, STFU. Don't say anything. Be uncomfortable with the silence. Let them process what they're doing. Because again, most people, like we learned in the first call, they've never dealt with a notary before. This is their very first time. So don't confuse people with too many questions all at once. Rapid fire, just one question at a time. And you'll notice, you'll hear it in my tone. Let's hear it. Let's listen.
To decide and steps on Notary Public.
Okay. All right, no problem. It sounds like we can help you. Do you already have the form prepared?
Yes, yes, I have form. I just need to fill it out. I just need my name and signature and
Okay.
my wife's signature.
Okay, very good. And what type of ID do you have?
I have green card, state ID, so whatever you want, we have.
Okay, very good. All right, and then what type of ID does your wife have?
Sorry, sir?
What type of identification? Yeah, no problem. What type of ID does your wife have?
State ID.
Okay. All right. So sounds like. And what city do you live in? San Leandro.
San Diego, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like we can help you. You're right. The signature on the consent form must be notarized. So I did the disqualification. Where do you live? Who's signing? Do you have ID? And now we're transitioning into the closing, right? We're going to qualify the person now. So I say, yeah, all right, we can help you. You're right. Signature on the form must be notarized, right? I'm confirming or confirmation, giving confirmation to the person, which is really, but that's really all they're looking for. This is really what they're looking for to answer one question: can you help me? And they're really asking, when can you come and help me? Really, right? What time can you come and help me? When can you get here and help me? That's really the number one question that they're asking. They're not asking how much you charge. So when people ask that, they automatically can't afford you. They're not asking, how cheap can I get this? That's not what they're asking. They people say that, right? They say that. That's not what they really mean. What they mean is, I got this piece of paper that needs to get signed. Can you come like right now and help me out? So you want to give confirmation to the person. That's so once I've disqualified them, now I'm going to qualify them. Say, yeah, yeah, we can help. Yeah, yeah. What time you want us to come? Right. All right. So sounds like. And what city do you live in? San Leandro.
San Diego, yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, it sounds like we can help you. You're right. The signature on the consent form must be notarized.
Yes, yes. Then it's stamped and signed by the Notary Public, yeah.
Yes. All right. Is this your cell phone number that ends in 0938? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
In a few moments, sir, we'll send you a text message. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
Click
you.
click the link when you have a moment, and just pick the time that works for you and your family.
So, can we come there?
Oh, good question. So did you hear his question?
I couldn't make it out.
He said, "Can we come here? Can we come there?"
Totally missed that.
So how do you answer those questions, right? This is where people lose clients. This is where, yeah, clients start throwing questions at you, and you start getting nervous. I don't know what to say. I want this client. I need this money. My light bills due. I gotta get this client. I already invested in this printer. I gotta calm down, guys. These questions are not reasons for them not to work with you. They really just don't know. So give them the straightforward answer. So this is a mobile service. And so listen to how I feel this question. He says, "Oh, we can come to you." You know what that question really means? When somebody says, "Oh, no, well, we can come to you," that question really means, "Oh man, this sounds kind of expensive." Or maybe this is, I don't know, maybe, is it cheaper if I save, can I save some money if I, will I spend as much money if I, that's really what we can come to you. No, I didn't say anything about you coming to us. I said, so listen to how I answer this question. He says, "Oh, we can come to you."
So, can we come there?
Oh, good question. The service is mobile, so we come to your location. We come to your home or your office, or you can just pick a coffee shop and the notary will meet you there. So when somebody says, yeah, we can come to you, or can we come there? I tend not to say what I can't do, as in like, you cannot come here. You cannot do this. You cannot do that. What I do is I try to say, no, we come is more as an affirming statement, right? Instead of saying what you can't do, so I'll tell you what we can do. No, we can come to you. We can come to you, or we can come to your hotel or your whatever, your office or something. Or your office, or you can just pick a coffee shop and the notary will meet you there.
So wait a minute, then if does my niece need to be there as well?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he asked right there, but it sounded like he said, "Does my niece, or does my wife, or does my son, or somebody?"
Yeah, he
Somebody.
said his wife.
He said wife. Okay.
I'm like, I thought
Okay.
it said niece.
I thought he said niece as well.
So wait a minute, then if does my niece need to be there as well?
Yeah, if
He did say
whoever's
niece.
name is on the document. You heard niece?
Yeah, second time I heard niece.
Yeah.
As well?
Yeah, if whoever's name is on the document, they must be present.
Okay. And what will be the charges then?
It's 170. So what is the charge? Here's where you lose clients, right? Well, how much is it?
See, I gotta be honest, man. This is a very unique situational call. His kids are trapped at the embassy in another country. What would a parent do to get their child out of a detention center in the embassy of a country?
That's a
Like,
great
what would you
perspective.
what would you pay to get your kid out of something like that?
That's a great perspective. I didn't think of it like that.
Because every well, what tech teaches you guys is to be able to identify signals. The signals are what's going to enhance your proposition and offering to these people. This guy's niece and whoever is stuck in Pakistan at an embassy. Dude, that's like holding my kids hostage. My kids called me and it wasn't a local phone call. That's an international phone call. The phone call alone is going to be up there. That uncle, we need help. That's the phone call. So sometimes you have to run that type of scenario in your head and be like, what would I be experiencing? The more you could put yourself in the customer's shoes, the more money you'll make. I promise you. The more you could see things from their perspective, and instead of taking the approach of you sit on one side of the table, I sit on the other side. No, I'm going to sit on the same side as you, and we're going to attack this enemy together. They will be more than willing to spend a much higher premium because you're working on their side. So that guy, yeah, that's like I mean, for me, I would have hit him with like maybe 4 or 5 for that, but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because that's what they're looking for. They want that. They want you to see it from their perspective. And this is, by the way, this is universal. This is not just this doesn't just apply to notary. This is, think about it yourself. When you go buy a car, when you go shop a car, don't you would it feel better if that person was like, they could see, all right, man, I got a family, I gotta commute, I gotta haul bricks and lumber and pick up plants, or I gotta deliver stuff. They understand why you're getting this vehicle, or why you're buying this couch, or buying this new home. Like, that's what those behaviors, that's what your customers are looking for, right? So when you can see it from the perspective, it really does help. And it takes away from, although all those concerns that they're having, they're not, it kind of eliminates all that stuff. It just makes it much more, to me, smoother. and it's easier to make every call your client, which is the motto. Make every single person who calls you is a client. They must be present.
Okay. So, and what will be the charges, sir?
It's 117.
When and if we visit there, if we come here to Oakland.
Oh, good question. So I said it's 117, and then he says if we come there, which I interpret that as if is it cheaper if I come to you? That's what that means. If we walk in, because they know it's a mobile service, they know that. So that's these people are they're not dumb, right? They're not. Your customers are intelligent. These are smart people. Most people who get notaries, they're just trying to take care of some business. That's all they're trying to do. That's it. They're just trying to take care of some important matter. That's it. So they're not most people, not everybody, but most people are. And so he's asking, yeah, and if I come to you, all right. And then you got the cultural element here as well, right? The whole negotiation thing, right? The bartering, right? You got that whole perspective. The price isn't the price until we negotiate it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, which is something that I'm not really used to. I'm not, by in all honesty, but there is that. That is real and alive. You may not ever realize that you're in that situation, and somebody's actually trying to break you down. And then what happens? What happens when they ask you that question? And then what happens? You typically you end up folding or uh, you know, uh, you know, I like to say taking that bait, and then you lower your price. But let's listen.
Oakland.
Oh, good question. If you come to our office, there won't be a notary there.
There will be no trading.
No, the service is mobile, so that's a depot. It's our call center.
Okay, so 117, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. You see how he repeated it?
It wasn't even a speed bump for him. He was prepared to spend the 117 already. You told him the price. His culture automatically puts him in negotiating mode once he hears a number. Not the generalized Middle Easterns, but that if you ever look at videos or you watch any documentaries on Middle East, you understand that a lot of them have these small kiosks in the town square, and they're negotiating really hard to sell purses, IT stuff, the telephones. They sell it all, and they negotiate on the spot. It's very embedded in their culture. It's a normal thing for them to go into hardcore negotiating without even giving it a second thought.
Evidently so. Even when it comes to notary, professional services, even when it comes to that. And here it is right here. And if you don't recognize it, what's going to happen?
He'll get you to drop your price and possibly get you to agree to do it at a price you aren't satisfied with. They're not concerned about you being happy. It's about them negotiating a deal, and they felt it doesn't necessarily mean that they won, but at least give them the feeling that they won the negotiating side of it. But yeah, this is a great call. Go ahead, go.
Yeah, everybody wants to sleep good at night, don't they? Everybody wants to feel better when they lay their head down. Oh, I got a good negotiation today. I got one. I got one, man. I got one. See, and that's what it is. You too.
17, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask. I'm outside, so let me talk with my wife. So which is the better time so that your team can come? And what type of payment would you prefer?
Good question.
Cash payment?
Yeah, Debit card, credit card is okay. We no checks.
Okay, so we have that, so no problem. So let me talk with my wife, and I think 4 p.m. today will be good.
Okay. All right. We see appointments as late as 8 p.m. So once you get the text message, you'll be able to see all of the available times.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right. My pleasure. Call back if you have any questions.
Thank you very
All
much,
right.
sir.
Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right.
Did he do it?
Yeah, of course.
And that's not a phone call this guy wants to go around shopping prices for. This, you know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna call three, four different notaries when his niece and nephew are stuck in a building and probably laying down and sleeping on the floor or something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's like, dude, I'm not gonna call two, three other companies for something that's $117. They need to get out of there right now.
It's not about the
That's
price.
that's a very high level situation this guy was in. They his niece and nephew put him under pressure, and he had to act fast. He may not have shown his desperation and urgency of needing that document notarized, but he was under pressure a lot.
Well, yeah, anytime somebody, if you call somebody, your intention is to do a deal that day. It's not like you're just online. I agree with you. It's not like he's just going online, looking at websites, doing research, or even driving around to different locations, UPS store, whatever. When you think about this, I always think about it in terms of myself as well. When you call somebody, your intention is to do some business. That's why you call somebody. You pick up the phone to do business, to conduct some level of business. And that's according to Salesforce, who does a lot of business, by the way. 50% of business is conducted over the phone, according to Salesforce. 50%. One out of every two people you meet has conducted business over the phone. Not online, not in person, over the phone. So he doesn't have time to look around. I know it sometimes thinks or appears the way that people have all this time in the world to do this stuff, but $117, not a deal. No, let's go. Of course, he tried to do the bargaining or the, you know, estimating the price and all that stuff because, like you say, I agree with you. It is a cultural thing, and it's something. It's not the first time that this ever happened.
Yeah, that notarization, that's not something that the guy would have said, yeah, I'm interested in getting it 3 days from now or a week from now. He's like tonight.
Yeah, so it ended up being a minor consent form, and yeah, the form is already there. He has it, and yeah, it was just wife and him just signing it. And overall, the client went well. One of the notaries took care of it, and it was fast. It was like 7 minutes. She was in and she was out, and so everybody was happy. Notary got paid. I got paid. The customer got their form, uh, done.
And I also want to drop a quick gem on this too, Tech.
Go ahead.
The price that you created, it wasn't a price that it was just, hey, I'm gonna be the notary and I'm gonna do the job and I'm just gonna get paid. Even if you are a solo notary and you are not doing the agency side of things, charge as if you have an agency.
Good point.
Charge as if you're going to employ another notary to run that appointment for you. And what will be your take home? Even though you plan to run the appointment yourself, you'll shock yourself how much people are willing to spend more for your services. Because truth be told, like if me and Tech were just running appointments, just ourselves, we probably wouldn't be charging most of the prices that we do because it would just be to satisfy us. Oh, I'm cool with just walking away with $100, right? Then you charge $100 and you're cool with it. But if you know that you're going to pay somebody else and then you're going to also get paid from the situation, you're going to have to bump it more than $100, whether you run it by yourself or not. So it starts to put you in the mode of asking for more to get more.
And let me add on to that, because here's two reasons why I say you should charge as high as you reasonably can. You should charge as much as you can possibly reasonably can. You should, and here's the reason why. Number one, aside from what you just mentioned, which is to obviously feed another family, pay somebody else's bills, and put food on somebody else's table and let them operate their life, which is the notary in this case, the subcontracted notary, and then obviously for you to run your business. But this operating cost that specifically for me in today, the advertising. The take home that I get not only obviously supports the business, right? That attracted this lead, that advertised and marketed to this specific lead. He saw our advertisement, he clicked on our ad, which costs money, by the way. That ad costs money, by the way. So you're already in the red the moment you pick up the phone. You're already operating at a net loss already. Okay. So keep that in mind. You paid for that phone call. And now the 6 minutes or the 4 minutes or the 3 minutes, however long you spend on the phone with this person, you're paying for that also. You have a cell phone, don't you? Don't you have a Verizon, T-Mobile? Yeah, you do. You're paying for that already. So, and
That's
you are
true.
on the internet, right? Yeah. So all this stuff, you're already paying for this. Now let's take it a little step further. Notary screws up. Oh, he put his stamp upside down. It was an accident. Happens. Now what? You got to go back out there and fix this, don't you? Somebody got to go back out there and correct this, don't they? You're going to charge this person again, or you're going to take the loss and lose even more money because you only charged $50 to begin with, $20, $60, $15 to begin with. You're going to lose even more money in gas, and you're going to go out there, or you're going to send somebody else and tell them to go back out there and correct it. Okay. How long are you going to be in business for that, operating like that? You're going to be bleeding money. How do I know that? Because when you listen to people who don't do it, who don't charge reasonably as high as they possibly can, they don't end up being in business for very long, do they? No. Another one bites the dust. That's why you see a lot of notaries go out of business for so fast. They don't last a year, 2 years. They're done. They're out. Number one, pricing is incorrect. Their pricing is terrible. They're charging $30. And then what if something happens? Because stuff will happen. Stuff does happen, and you can't afford to even keep your lights on. Can't business goes out. And then they meet somebody like this guy where he negotiates them half the price, and then they accept it. And they end up doing all this work, additional work, marketing. I can't afford marketing. I can't afford advertising. You can't even afford to put a Google ad up, which, by the way, will return about 15 times the money that you invest into it if you do it correctly. It's not very hard to mess this up, but it's easy to get it right. Very simple, very straightforward. You have to price yourself that at as like I say, as high as you can reasonably go. Go as high as you reasonably. You see, he didn't object to the price, so I just wanted to add that in. Any other last comments before we move on to this last one? I see, we kind of run out of time a little bit. This last one is going to be really good. I'm glad you guys stuck around to the end. I know there's people who have different opinions about pricing. They have this other ideas about how much you should charge and all this. I know there's people out there that talk about this, but listen, I got to ask you a question, or you got to look yourself in the mirror because I asked myself a question. I look myself in the mirror and ask the question. If somebody's charging $35, $60 for this high level of service, do I really want to? What kind of advice are they really telling me? What kind of information and principles are they really sharing with me? If somebody's only charging $35, listen, I'm gonna be real. I paid thousands of dollars for my power of attorney, for my trust, for my family to be protected. I paid thousands of dollars. I had the number 3 attorney in the state of California to execute my trust. So I know it's worth something. I know it's valuable to me. It wasn't the price, it was what it said, what it executed. It gave me the confidence that in the maybe unlikely, I don't know, I like to think I'm highly unlikely, but in the event that something happened to a family member, a loved one of mine, and I needed to go into a medical facility or I needed to go into some type of legal situation and speak for this person and have their best intentions, not the state's intentions, but my intentions, my family's intentions. I needed to know that this document gave me the bulletproof security that I needed to walk in there with confidence and to demand answers. That's what I told the lawyer. I need I the price isn't the price isn't what it costs isn't the issue. I need to know that in the event that something happens, I will get answers. I'm walking in there with my chest out and my chin up, and I will get responses. I don't want no, oh, who are you? We need to see this. We can't give that information to you. We don't, no, no, no. I come from the medical world. I know how that operates. I know what you're a notary. You've seen what happens when people are in situations, nursing homes, these facilities, and their stuff isn't in order because they went to the Staples or they went to Office Depot and got some power of attorney. And it does, and they try to go to the bank and then access grandma's bank account because it wasn't executed correctly. They initialed in the wrong spot. You see what happens, and then all this frustration happens, all these delays. Now all of a sudden, grandma's getting kicked out of her apartment. I've seen that happen before. They just went to susieorman.com and downloaded some power of attorney. Some they haven't people didn't go to law school. They don't know what these things are. They've never dealt with notaries. They've never dealt with legal professionals. They never dealt with these documents before. And then they're trying to navigate the legal system on their own. They didn't even come on, you barely passed. Come on, you barely got out of high school. Now you're trying to be a lawyer? So, and you're going to charge $20 for this important document. You're going to charge the price of pizza on Friday night for this person to get their kids out of an embassy. This stuff is important, y'all. You can't charge pennies for this, and you can't be looked at as devalued. It's got to be. This stuff is incredibly crucial. Those who know, they know. So let's see this next. In this next call will demonstrate this. Watch. Yeah, so there's people out there who say, "Oh, notary, I can't do anything with notary. I'm close. The notary is a struggle business." I heard somebody say that recently. The notary is a struggle business. No, it's a struggle business for you. All right, let's listen.
There's trustee, will, medical. But what I have is that his ID is expired.
Okay, so you're gonna see me kind of navigate some of the things in the background. I'm gonna pull up my website. I'm gonna pull up the call script, and again, this is a call number 3. And just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a primer here, the guy he's calling on behalf of his uncle, and that's usually the case, right? People who call on behalf of other people. But let's listen.
There's trustee, will, medical. But what I have is that his ID is expired. So I'm assuming we need to request, my understanding, two people that would verify his name, I guess, or.
So right off the top, what do you notice immediately? He's just talking. He's just talking. Like he heard his coworkers told him, somebody, shared with him. I just asked him one question: what kind of document, can we help you with? And he just started rambling. Just listen. Just listen. No need to interrupt. Just let them talk. They'll give you all the information. So you see me in the background kind of pulling up the website and everything because I'm just listening to him talk. I already know what his issue is and what he needs. Now we need to go ahead and disqualify him first. Make sure that what he does have is actually something we can actually help him with, and then qualify him, and then go ahead and confirm, get the appointment secured. But I just asked him one question, and then he just goes off, and people will tell you exactly what they're looking for if you just let them talk. Just let them talk. He told me everything I needed to hear. I don't know if he caught all those details, but he said trust, trustee, uncle, no ID, two people, witnesses. Did you catch all that? I'll play it again just to let you hear it. You didn't catch the beginning. I didn't capture the beginning of the phone call, but basically I asked him, what kind of document can we help you with?
There's trustee, will, medical. But what I have is that his ID is expired. So I'm assuming we need to request, my understanding, two people that would verify his name, I guess, or who he is.
Good question. Will he be the only person who signs the document?
Yeah, it'll be him signing it, and then also I think there's one that I see that I have to sign, and then it shows two signatures. Because I told the attorney that, and he has his social security card. I mean, he's still mentally competent, but since his driver's license, because he doesn't drive anymore, is expired, he doesn't have a license. So,
yes.
Like, I want to set up something with you on the 11th on a Saturday and have all need the notarized.
Okay. So you guys, what did I ask him? I asked him, will he be the only person signing the document? And what did he say? That's a yes or no question, isn't it? Will he be the only person signing the document? And he just gave me, look at all the details he gave me. This is how you're able to close appointments just with one question. Hold the person's hand, help them across the street. They give you all the details. No need to interrogate them. No need to treat them like a criminal. No need to question whether or not the person is competent. You can't do that over the phone anyway. You can't tell somebody's in their right mind over the phone anyway. No need to do that. All you're doing is setting the appointment. When do you need us to be there? No need to be nervous. No need to be anxious. Help them. All this information that he's giving is a sign. It's a sign that he's maybe done a little bit of research. I don't know. Who knows? I know he knows a little bit of something about something, but don't everybody? Everybody thinks they're an expert. Everybody thinks that they went to law school and that they're a judge, they're a lawyer. Everybody thinks that they passed the bar exam, but they really didn't. You're the expert. You are the notary who passed the test. You got the background check approved. You're the expert. And you demonstrate your expertness by asking the questions and not interrogating the person, right? You ask the right questions, which is he the only person signing the document? And then they go ahead and people who spill their knowledge, they like to tell us stuff. These are people who, no doubt, they know what they're talking about, but they're the person who's buying. They're not the person who's selling. You're the person who's selling. So take all the information that they have, and instead of you, they don't want you, they don't want to know how much you know. They want you to help them with their specific situation that they have going on with their family. That's what they care about. So he answers the question and he gives me this long answer. And then you see me kind of pull up the call script here. Again, this stuff is internalized, but I still bring it out just to, if something pops up, it's just kind of jog my memory. And I also like to take notes as well. Yes. But he's basically saying that he doesn't, his uncle doesn't have ID and all this. So let's listen. Let's listen.
Driver's license, because he doesn't drive anymore, is expired. He doesn't have a license. So,
Yes.
like, I want to set up something with you on the 11th on a Saturday, and
He's already setting up the appointment already, right? He's already doing all the work. Now you just need the apparatus in order to put this in place. And this is what I'm going to show you.
have all would need the notarized.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like we can help you. And what type of ID do you have?
I mean, I have my driver's license, my passport. I mean, I have my ID.
Okay.
And I'm the nephew of my uncle. So since his ID is expired, do I need? It looks like in the documentation from the attorney, I need 2 signatures, non-relative.
So that's a great question that he asked. And it should tell you something as well. What does that tell you? He says, I have documentation from an attorney. What does that tell you immediately? Unlike the last
What
one,
he's asking for.
where did he get this document from? Like, he didn't go to Susie Orman or DaveRamsey.com and downloaded this document. He actually went to a professional and got this, because those people are out there, aren't they? They're like, yeah, this is something serious. We're not just doing this on our own. Now, the belief is that every lawyer who drafts these documents, they already have notaries on staff, and that's maybe true, maybe not. But sometimes, in this case, like we see, there's multiple people involved in terms of like witnesses, and so the attorneys may not want to coordinate all of those events. They may just leave you, or we don't know what negotiated with, but this guy negotiated with the attorney. The attorney might have charged him $50,000 to do this. Who knows? And then the guy says, I can't do it for 50,000, but he says, oh, hey, the attorney says, all right, we'll do it for 1,000, and then you just find your own notary. That could have happened. We don't know. But he's got this document that's drafted by a professional, not by his family or some coworker, and he's got to go find his own notary, and then obviously he's trying to coordinate all of these things at once. Just listen here.
So since his ID is expired, do I need? It looks like in the documentation from the attorney, I need 2 signatures, non-relative.
Can you find coworkers, friends, neighbors, anyone who can identify Uncle?
Yes, I have the neighbor, and also there's a caregiver that's been taking care of him for the last couple of months.
Okay. See, when this question about witnesses comes up, I'll prompt the client and I'll tell them, yeah, you do need witnesses, but I say it without saying, this is how you give legal advice without giving legal advice. Right? People say, oh, notaries can't give legal advice. Yeah, true. But the person is looking for your help. So when somebody asks a question, he asked about the witnesses, and then I responded with a question. He's like, yeah, I need witnesses. Is that right? Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. I've never looked at your documents, sir. I've never examined what you have in your hand. I don't know. You might. I don't know what you're reading, to be honest. But my question to you is, can you find and help them jog their memory? Help them think of, can you find some coworkers, some some relatives or somebody, neighbor? And he also threw in a caretaker, which is a good one. Write that down. Next time I answer that question or I ask that question, I'm gonna throw that in. The case caretaker is a good one.
And also, there's a caregiver that's been taking care of him for the last couple of months.
Okay.
Is my wife exempt because she's a relative or married?
Great question. How do you answer that question? Is my wife exempt because she's a relative? Any responses?
I would
Exempt
say
from what again?
I'll play it again.
I have
No, you.
the neighbor, and also there's a caregiver that's been taking care of him for the last couple of months.
Okay.
Is my wife exempt because she's a relative or married?
In terms of being a witness, that's what he's asking about. Can his wife actually sign?
Okay.
no, his wife can't be one.
Really?
I mean, they are married, so why would the wife be a witness? Because they think the family could be in cohorts to try to do something with their assets.
Okay. I like that word cahoots, by the way. I love that word. So if the wife is there, she's off the list.
Correct.
Okay.
Is my wife exempt because she's a relative or married?
Great question. Great question. Is your wife's name anywhere on the documents?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, she should be okay. As long as,
Okay.
what type of ID does your wife have? So I'd say that she can be a witness. But you're right, Sharice. The idea of a conflict of interest can be, you could inject that, but legally, I'm saying on the, is there something illegal being done there? Is there something that's not on the up and up if the wife is a witness?
No, but it would be a firm no. But if you're looking at it in a legal perspective, well, which we're not acting as attorneys, but if they're looking at a legal perspective, something happens, then yes.
Would I want my wife to be a witness? Probably not.
No.
Right. Probably not. But if she's the only one there and that is all we have, we got to go with that. Is she the best option? It's kind of like saying, should you draft a contract on a piece of napkin and sign it with a crayon?
Correct.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Mm-mm.
But it is a written agreement.
Correct. It is written. It's just that if something, if it was played in a different perspective, then it will be looked in a different way. But if they just need it for whatever, I don't want to say whatever because it is important.
I agree.
You don't want to, like you said, you don't want to take you don't want to take this subject lightly because then what if they or someone else in the family decides to take over? Then they're going to want witnesses that are not related in the situation. In this situation, they will feel like the wife was used for some apparent reason in the power of attorney documents.
How often does that happen?
Um, very rarely, but it depends on it depends on their financial statuses too. What does this person have to gain? But we won't know. We won't get into that.
Yeah, you never know. You really don't. You be $40 million in a horse and some boats and some
Right.
cabins. You don't know. You
You
don't know.
don't. We're just there to be the notary and to give them what's required for the state requirements.
I agree. All right, let's listen.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, she should be okay as long as.
Okay.
What type of ID does your wife have?
At this point, she has a passport.
Okay.
Her driver's license has been expired, so she's been using her passport. We're like, come on, honey, you can have the DMV, but she's stubborn. So she does have her passport. I can get.
I like how he throws his wife under the bus right there.
Mm-hmm.
The neighbor that's known my uncle for 25, 30 years.
Very good.
And so I think that's where we're at. You know, he's at a point in his life where we.
So he doesn't get the wife; he actually gets the neighbor. But listen to how he's closing himself. He's selling himself on this. I'm not. He's talking most of the time, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I haven't said anything. I basically said 3-4 things so far.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
And so I think that's where we're at. You know, he's at a point in his life where we, you know, we're trying to get him on the trustee. I'm trying to get on the trustee. We had to do a little rearranging of documents because my dad was on the first will, but my dad's not competent, so we had to rewrite everything, and so.
So you can tell they're a little bit more savvy than the usual customer, aren't they?
Correct.
Yeah. So we've seen all three dynamics here. We've seen the whole spectrum. We've seen people who are looking for it cheap, saw somebody who's maybe a little bit more experienced, and then we see the people they've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't their first time. And this is, again, how can you tell if someone is too cheap for you or someone is not your customer? These are the clues. These are the things that you're picking up on as you're listening, as they're talking. Is this person a customer? Do they actually have something that I can help them with? And is it worth it? Well, they're all worth it, but are they going to object and jump around and dance around the price and all this stuff? You don't have to worry about the price. Let's figure out if you can actually help them first.
Right.
All right, let's listen.
Possibly Saturday the 9th. I would say between 10:30 and 11, if that's possible.
Okay, very good. So it sounds like we can help you. What city will this be taking place in? Is it your uncle's house?
Yeah, it's my uncle's apartment, and it's in Oakland.
Okay. All right. Yep. So it sounds like we can help you. So you're almost at the finish line. Okay.
Yes.
We need 2 people who can identify uncle. Once you have those individuals, then we can send you a link, or you can visit our website and just click on the 9th. We see appointments as early as 8 a.m. and as late as 8 p.m. Okay. So my recommendation would be to find those 2 individuals. Sounds like you have them already, but you have one question to ask them. So what I'm doing here is, obviously I'm closing on this appointment here, and he booked it, by the way. But what I'm doing is, this is the thirst factor, right? You don't want to sound thirsty. Clearly I can help them, but what I'm telling him is, wait a second. I'm still almost in that disqualification phase. I'm almost like pushing him away. Like, listen, you've got to do something first. You got to do this and take care of that. And so if you kind of hear that in my voice, this is why I'm not going in for the kill necessarily. I already know I got this in the bag, but you never want to come across as desperate. Avoid that at all costs. At any time you can avoid sounding desperate, do it. And that's why I'm telling, hey man, you've still got some work to do here. I appreciate what you've done so far, and you're going to hear me say this in a second. But you still got some ways before you cross the finish line here. Send you a link, or you can visit our website and just click on the 9th. we see appointments as early as 8 a.m. and as late as 8 p.m.
Okay.
Okay. So my recommendation would be to find those two individuals. Sounds like you have them already, but you have one question to ask them. Ask them if they have ID and make sure that their IDs are valid, and then we'll be able to get this important matter handled. But it sounds like we're almost there, and commend you for all the hard work to this point.
Yeah, what is the website that I can go on to?
Oh, no problem. Is this your cell phone number? So he asked me a question, what is the website you go to, right? And this is where I'm going to make a case for having a modernized customer experience. The fastest way and the most efficient way for you to operate your business today in the year 3000, okay? All that stuff about, see, this is why people come across these problems when it comes to booking appointments and they have all these issues and they run to databases and these listings and these websites and these directories and they look in these title companies and they wonder why they struggle so much. That can be solved with one problem, with one thing. That's a sign. It's time to update, just like he's updating his will. He's updating his power of attorney. You might need to update because he asked me a question. What's your website? Listen to how I answer this question. Because I could tell him what the website is, but how do I know if he has a piece of paper and a pen nearby? He's not driving. He's not at his office. He's not holding his baby. He's not with his family. Like, I don't know. I can't see him. So I need to have an ultra modern, up to date way of communicating with him. And this is how having technology will help you to make money faster and much more efficiently and remove all these obstacles and hurdles that are completely unnecessary. This is how you automate your cash flow right here. This is it right here. I'm gonna show you. Listen to this point.
Yeah, what is the website that I can go on to?
Oh, no problem. Is this your cell phone number that ends in 7071710?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, no problem. In a few moments, we'll send you a text message with all of the details.
Sounds great. And then
You hear that? That was how you sell right there. Is this your cell phone number? You said yes. I said, yeah, we'll send you a text message with all the details. Instead of saying, well, the website is here. You got a pen ready? You got a piece of paper? All right. Here, are you ready? Okay, ready? www. What was that? I can't hear you. A car just went by. Oh, let me repeat that. It's O-A-K. How do you spell that? Oh, no, I can't hear you, man. See, remove all the hurdles. Is this your cell phone number? Yeah, man, we'll send everything to you. Don't worry about it. Customers want our favorite C word. What's our favorite C word? Confirmation.
oh, okay.
You're gonna say another C word.
I was gonna say, take one. What was my C? I forgot. It was something I was gonna say they wanted real quick, but I lost my train of thought.
You know what it is. You know what it is. What is it?
I forgot. I really did.
Convenient.
Convenience, yes.
Convenience. That too. That too. But more than anything, they want confirmation. Give me confirmation.
Confirmation. Okay, got you.
Confirmation. I want confirmation that this won't get rejected when I take this to Bank of America. I'm not gonna look like a fool when I walk into this hospital asking for medical records. I want confirmation. Commend you for all the hard work to this point.
Yeah, what is the website that I can go on to?
Oh, no problem. Is this your cell phone number that ends in 7071710?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, no problem. In a few moments, we'll send you a text message with all of the details.
Sounds great. And then I will set up a notary for the 9th, and I'll ask, we'll get everybody on board with ID.
All right. All right.
Another question would be, how can I pay check, credit card? How do we pay for
good question. Isn't that the question you want to hear? That's all I want to hear. That's the only question I want to hear. How do I pay? Isn't that the question that you want to hear?
All day.
Yeah, pretty much confirms the sale.
This is the only question you want to hear. How can I pay? All right.
So what, the other question would be, how can I pay? Check, credit card, how do we pay?
Yeah, good question. Good question. So cards are okay, debit, credit cards okay, no checks.
Okay. Debit, credit card, that all can be done during that. Okay.
Yes.
And usually what does something like that run for a cost?
It's so how much does it cost? Again, this is where at the very end of the appointment, at the very end of the call, this is where notaries can lose clients. How much? Isn't that the dreaded question that will essentially cause you to close your business if you can't answer this question? Nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to worry about. Because again, your customers are smart. Treat them as such. When you go to Home Depot and you ask them how much does this water hose cost, they tell you the price, don't they? You go to Starbucks, you ask them how much is this macchiato, they tell you the price. So when somebody asks that question, now I may be contradicting myself when I say that, because we started off by saying somebody asks you that question, don't answer it, right? But this is the difference. What's the difference? The difference is I did an entire intake. I qualified them, I disqualified them, and determined that we can in fact help them. They have ID, everybody's present, versus somebody who just says, hey, how much do you charge? Well, sir, I don't know what exactly it is that you have. You might have 1,000 pieces of paper in your hand. And I'm not going to tell you it's $10 if you have 1,000 pieces of paper. I'm not going to tell you anything. Let me ask. People respect that. Like Tiger was saying, if you just fold it, they wouldn't even. You don't want that type of customer with you. You'll show up to their house, they won't even answer the door. They'll treat you as some type of stepping over walk mat, piece of thing on the floor. That is what. So when somebody asks you, "Hey, how much?" This question at this point, give them that. Tell them. Let them know that you're not cheap.
Debit, credit card, that all can be done during that. Okay.
Yes.
And usually what does something like that run for a cost?
It's $267.
$267.
Yes, sir.
And then, okay, well, I'll wait to get the text, and I'll go on and verify and get that scheduled.
All right, we'll send it right away. Call if you have any questions or you need assistance. We'll be happy to work with you.
Thank you so much.
All right, have a wonderful rest of your morning.
Yeah, you do the same. Thank you.
Bye. All right. So, all right, let's see here. We went a little bit over, but so the final call, as you can tell, the difference between call number 1, 2, and 3, there's people who they tell you that they can't afford you, right? They let you know with these cues. They're very subtle sometimes. Sometimes they're very, very nuanced, but it's your responsibility to pick them up. There's only 3 things that you really need to know: where, who, and what type of document. That's what I say: who, what, when, right? Who is going to be there? Who's all going to be there? What type of identification do they have? What you got? Is it a piece of paper that's on a DMV renewal? Is it a you got a photo on your phone, that you took a picture of? What you got? Just an expired passport that was expired 5 years ago? So who's going to be there? What type of identification do you have? And then where are you? Where do you live? Do you live in like Mars? Do you live like where are you? In the hospital? Where are you, at your office, in your apartment? So those are the 3 things that we need. And sometimes if people can't answer those questions, they're very simple questions. They can't answer those, then that's how we disqualify them. Now, here's the nice thing. When you ask those questions, people don't, as we see, don't they tell you more information? they tell you everything that you need to know. And that cuts down on that feeling of interrogating the client. You're just setting up the appointment, you're just getting them to the next step. And that's why we use technology to finish off the job, the payment processing. We don't have to collect data over the phone. Customers are smart. Customers are in an era where they expect this modern approach. They don't expect what was happening yesterday. They want to look forward towards the future. That's what they're that's what people are accustomed to. So when you give them that, it takes away some of the barriers. It takes away a lot of the issues that come across with people's inability to close deals. All right. Last thoughts about those calls before we move on to Google Ads. If anybody has any questions, by the way, thanks for sticking around too, by the way, to the end and hearing all those examples of how to close deals and how to absolutely tell if somebody is your client or if they're too cheap. I think that those are good examples of what you would typically come across.
I agree.
Yeah.
In one way or another, you're going to come across a similar scenario, something of that nature, right? Where somebody's going to ask you, "Hey, how much, Sharice? Yeah, I just need something signed. Me and my wife trying to get some paper signed. How much you charge?"
Right. So it's like what I learned before, that you need to at least create, like you said, a call script or have something handy in your note section of your phone or something if you need an immediate answer. But I see that technology in your phase, which I want to implement soon. But yes, that will work. Having something upfront, tangible that you can talk about.
Yeah, the customer's looking for that.
Yeah,
They
because if we were consumers, we would be looking for that too.
wouldn't you? Right? Don't you, like Tiger was saying, you're not sitting across from this person, if you can imagine that. You're
Mhm.
sitting side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
Correct.
I like that analogy because you can see it from their perspective, and they want you to see it from their eyes. They don't want you to be on the other side of the table trying
Yeah.
to sell them something. No, no, be shoulder to shoulder. Listen, man, we're here to help you if we can, but you got to answer these questions first.
Yes.
Okay, so that's good. That's good. It's it's a very it's not as easy as that. That comes from obviously from doing this for so long, but at the same time, instead of making it complicated or making yourself feel like you're not ready, the reality is you are ready. You don't need to have a notary commission to do what you just saw there. All you need, like Teresa was saying, is a little something handy side by side in the event something comes up and you can't answer, you're not sure. What I like to do is take the approach that if somebody asks a question, and as you saw, people are not asking questions that are like impossible to answer. It's really just it's a concern that they have. Can my wife come? If my wife doesn't have ID, uh, is it cheaper if I come to you? All the objections, all the concerns that people have, it really has to do with, do I have to pay now? In some form or another, is, do I have to pay now? And why does it cost that much? That's not what I expected. That's not what I thought it was. That's the only objection. There's only two objections you'll ever get. That's it. It's not 80 or 100 objections. Only two. Why do I have to pay first? Why, does it cost that much? And it really isn't a matter of, well, the service that we offer here, you know, this is something sensitive and urgent and important that we deal with. If you don't have something sensitive and urgent and important, then perhaps, maybe the Dollar Tree is, or, your cousin who pretends to be a notary is probably your solution. And again, they'll hang up the phone, and that's the person you probably didn't want anyway. they're angry, they're upset, they're irate, you're going to get more problems with that person as soon as you show up. Or if you send another notary out to that person, they're going to call you and say, hey James, you know what, that appointment, at 6:45 appointment, that person was really rude and I just didn't finish the appointment. And now all of a sudden you got issues because you got to issue a refund and you got to still pay the notary because they traveled out there. So those type of problems, those type of people come with baggage. You want the type of person who's going to be, oh, yeah, what time can you get here? How do I pay for this? That's the type of person you want, and they're out there. They're out there. Alright, so we went over our time, but that's okay. We've got some questions to answer about Google Ads. Anybody have, um, any? Because I promised that we would. These customers, by the way, they all clicked on our ads, they all contacted us, they knew what they were getting into, and it's I'm taking the approach that if they're not able to conduct an appointment through our website, then what they'll do is they'll, hit 0 to talk to the home office or speak to a live person, and then I answer. And by the time that they speak to me, I know what they've seen before. I know that they've probably seen our prices. I know they definitely seen our website, and who knows, they probably clicked on a couple of different things, and they just have a question. So I treat it as, I'm just a call center. I'm just the office. I'm not the notary. I'm not here to answer any questions. All I'm here to do, you called me because you want to set up an appointment. That's my objective. That's my mission, is to set you up with a same day appointment. So if that's not what you're looking for, then I can easily eliminate you. So the ads that we put out, I'm gonna put this up here. Let's see. Hang on.